How does a bridge hold up the weight of cars?
Go. Merriam-Webster defines a bridge as a structure carrying a road, path, roadway, or canal across a river, ravine, road, railroad, or any other obstacle. So basically, that's a whole lot of words saying any structure that spans an obstacle and provides passage. Historically, the invention of the bridge dates back before recorded history. Arches, which are used in many types of bridges, or in many bridges, also date back before history. Bridges were built in the beginning from easily accessible natural resources, like wooden logs, stone, and dirt. But due to the technologies at the time, they could not span very far. Later, rope was used in making a suspension bridge, which spanned greater distances. The next breakthrough in bridge construction came from the Romans, who discovered how to make mortar. Think of mortar like rock glue. The Romans utilized a lot of arches in their structures and were able to span larger distances because of this mortar. Nowadays, we use a lot of concrete and steel. Concrete is a material that is extremely strong in compression, and steel is extremely strong in tension.
Okay. In order to understand how the weight of cars is held up by a bridge, you first must understand the two main factors of how the weight is distributed or spread out. The first factor, written in black right here, is tension, otherwise known as pulling. Tension is essentially the reaction of a weight or force pulling on the object. As you can see right here with the spring, the tension is forcing it to expand because the force is applying outwards and pulling on the spring. Some materials, such as metal cables, are extremely strong in tension and can hold up a lot of weight compared to their own weight. But other materials, such as concrete, is really weak in tension. Okay, so next. But concrete, on the other hand, is extremely great in the second factor of distribution of weight, which is compression. And compression is essentially the reaction or of a weight or force pushing down on the objects, and it compresses, creating a reaction. So as you can see, this spring is having weight pressed down on it, and it works in compression. That's essentially what happens to concrete. But what's awesome about concrete is it's extremely strong and can hold up to 4,000 square pounds of force in just 1 square inch. So imagine that as a whole column that supports a bridge. It can support thousands and thousands of pounds, tons of cars, and would be perfectly safe.
In the upcoming drawings, keep in mind that things drawn in red are being pulled apart and acting in tension, while things drawn in green are being squished together and acting in compression.
Arch bridge. An arch bridge is a bridge with bases made of bricks or steel beams at each end shaped as a curved arch. Arch bridge works by transferring the weight of the bridge and its loads partially into a horizontal thrust restrained by the bases at either side. Arch bridge works by utilizing mostly compression forces. Because of the structure type, the arch bridge is able to span greater distances than a beam bridge. Suspension bridge. A suspension bridge is a type of bridge in which the deck, which is the load-bearing part, is hung below suspension cables on vertical suspenders. Suspension bridges have cables suspended between towers, plus vertical suspender cables that carry the weight of the deck below, upon which traffic crosses. Almost all of the suspension cables utilize tension forces, while the tower utilizes compression forces. A suspension bridge is also able to stretch over a distance 7 times that of an arch bridge.
Up next is the beam bridge. The beam bridge is the simplest type of bridge that can be made. How the beam bridge works is by having long, sturdy members which are supported at the ends with abutments or piers. In a simple example, a beam bridge can be thought of as a fallen tree that you walk across to get to the other side of a river. Or, if you've ever stood on top of a bench, that is a very small scale version of a beam bridge. The beam bridge works by transferring the weight of cars from the top of the road, which is acting in compression, through the bottom of the beams that are holding at the road. The beams are acting in tension since the ends of the beams are wanting to pull away. The big pillars that are used to support the ends of the beams are acting in compression. They are acting in compression since all the weight of the cars on the bridge is squishing down on the pillars. Since the beam bridge has no extra support other than the piers that they are sitting on, the beam bridge can only span a short distance compared to the other types of bridges. Next we have the truss bridge. If you have ever been up into the attic of your house, you may have seen trusses. A truss bridge is made up with the same idea as trusses used in the attic. Since triangles are very strong with supporting loads, a truss bridge utilizes triangles to create a pattern that can support the weight of the cars along with the weight of the bridge. The bottom of the arch bridge is made of long beams. Since these beams have all the weight pressing down on them, they act in tension and want to bend downward. All of the other triangles connected together make the bridge strong and sturdy. Notice that the outside members of the bridge, except the bottom beam, all act in compression. Also, all of the vertical or straight up and down members act in compression as well. The diagonal members in red, which are on the inside of the truss bridge, are trying to be stretched apart, and because of this, they are in tension. With the truss bridge, since all of the triangles have different members acting in tension and compression, they are able to create lots of strength and are therefore able to support the loads of all the cars.